I was doing a video a moment ago, a daily vlog, and I got interfered by the phone. And when it does that, it just knocks off the recording. That is so shitty. I need to find myself a editing program, something that I can use easily and I don't have to pay a shitload for it, and something that I won't have a watermark on it. It's so it'd be easier like when I take a video from one to the others. I did that last summer, last May I think, when I was trying to sell my friend's car, and I did multiple video and stitch them together. And people, car dealer, when they were seeing that, they say like, oh, we should do that as well. But none of the salesmen wants to be a YouTuber. I've been doing video on YouTube for 13 years. I got on YouTube in 2006, and it was this channel, but it wasn't called Think Harder. It was more just my name, and I was talking about conspiracy. And my goal was hoping to get the attention of a few old friend of mine, old acquaintance of mine on the Secret Service, and get back into the field. Unfortunately, no one cares. When you're yesterday news in that field, nobody cares about you anymore. Just like a little bit like James Bond, you know. When I need a new rear wiper. This one is really shitty. I wonder where I can get a winter wiper for the rear. It's already as complicated as it is to install. Stupid rear wiper. Anyway, so like I was saying, I've been on YouTube for 13 years, and I had the height of my popularity. I was at 25,000 followers. Back in the days, 25,000 followers was a lot. It was probably the equivalent of 250,000 today. And you were popular back then. You were getting on trends, and people were looking you up. And I was trying to get in touch with Alex Jones and David Icke and talk about conspiracy and share information, but sadly I wasn't at their level yet. I imagine that they got so much information from many others that at one point it's becoming bland. That, oh yes, another one. Oh yes, another one. We don't need more people. And everybody has different informations, and they don't know where they're getting their information from. So it's always a stretch. Me, for the longest time, I got my information from an ex-FBI employee and two Canadian security guard at the Parliament in Ottawa. These two guys were conspiration like me. They were into conspiration like me, and they were talking about. They were giving me information about what was going on inside. So every bit of information that I got was directly from the source. And when it came around 2011, 2012, things really got heated up because they were following everybody. And every one of them, they were very paranoid because they were being followed, and everything that they did was checked up on. So they had to be careful of who they were talking to and who they were revealing information. So at one point, for the following 3 years of 2015, they were very quiet, and they started talking to me again in 2016, explaining to me that they couldn't go as far as they used to be. And one of them retired. He reached his 55th birthday, and he retired. He made so much money that he could retire peacefully, and I never heard of him again. I I guess he literally retired. And my source from the United States just disappeared as well. So that was pretty sad. I guess that they learned to keep their mouth shut. So at one point for me, trying to inform the world and waking up people became useless. People would not change, people would not hear, and people don't want to change. They're too conditioned to live into this reality, to be exposed to another reality. And time travel is just one part of it. If there was ever a big ass conspiration, it was about time travel. That was the most hidden, also the most exposed as well. There was a lot of information exposed about time travel, and there was a lot of stories about it, and you know all the rest. It's going to be a 2-hour and 15-minute drive all the way down there. But fortunately today it's going to be like changing armrest. I have like I have about 4 set of armrests to replace. That means I don't have to carry my tools. I just go in with the box, unscrew the armrest with my hand, because it's just a butterfly wings, like butterfly nuts. You just untie them and just put it back. It takes 1 minute. Yeah, winter is here full on. Well, people are screaming climate change and this and that, but I don't know if they do, but back in my youth, this was normal winter. This is when winter was starting, around November. We never had a dry Christmas. And the climate is cyclic. You know, it's a cycle. What happened one time will happen again. It's completely normal, and people are screaming up to climate change, and they want to be a nuisance to everybody else because what they gobble up what's on the news, and they want to suck it up so hard that they need to belong to someone. I have an idiot like this, an idiot friend of mine that's like this. Well, an ex-friend. I don't consider him a friend anymore. But he's one of those drones, you know. He needs to be part of the herd. He can't think for himself, and he can't analyze things for himself. He's been conditioned by school. Because when you go to school for a long time, you're getting conditioned to believe and accept and absorb everything that is shown in front of you. Instead of using your intuition, analyzing what's the real fact, and what's the cause of it. I have a say that it's a key to success, or a key to survival, and it goes as: you observe, you analyze, you plan and execute. That's applicable for a lot of things, and it could be applicable for success, it could be applicable for survival, it could be applicable for war, it could be applicable for a lot of things, but it's the most useful tactic you can use in life. And this is how I decide for my information. I observe who throws the information at me. I analyze it by background checking where it's coming from, and see if there's other source with the same information. And then I plan on, am I going to use it or not? And then I execute. Am I going to spread this information? Is it going to be useful? So it's all these little details. A lot of people don't know about this. They just go in the big yonders and absorb and believe everything. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, people. They gobble up the news like no tomorrows. My wife is like this. Seriously, my wife is exactly like this. She will gobble up everything that the news throws at her and accept it for a hard fact. when it's not even close to fact. Most of the time it's just lies. It's utter lies. Anyway, I'm at work right now, earlier than expected. I wish you guys to have a good day. It's going to be a long drive. Bye everyone.